There's now just a handful of players left in the Party Poker World Tour Masters. These men are the very best in the world in pursuit of one of the sport's biggest prizes. They're now just 3 matches away from glory, starting with the quarterfinals. The opening quarterfinals so nearly went to the wire. China's Lu Haitao dominated the early exchanges, racing into a 6-2 lead, but Niels Feijen fought back to trail only 7-6. With the tension mounting, Lu held firm though, coolly winning rack 14 to complete victory and claim the first semi-final place in the Masters. The second quarter featured the title holder, Shane Van Boening, against Wally Berger. The American ran up an early lead, leaving the man from Qatar in trouble. He managed to fall back to within a rack of the champion with a golden break. His luck ran out as Van Boening took the next 2 to reach the last 4. Confirmation then that the first semi-final will feature Lu Haitao against Shane Van Boening, as the American attempts to become the first man to win back-to-back Masters titles. In the bottom half of the draw, England's Darren Appleton takes on Johnny Archer. That match coming up. And finally, Raoul Souquet plays Mark Gray. On though now to the third quarter-final. Archer against Appleton.
Yeah, after the first round, feel really good. Played well, 1-8-4, which is very important. Give me a lot of momentum going into the second round, and just looking forward to playing rest of the tournament now, and just with a lot less nerves as well. To play against Johnny Archer, you know you've got to bring your best game. He's been around a long time, maybe like 25, 30 years. He's basically won everything in the game, really. I'd probably say this might be the only event he hasn't won.
It's going to be fun. I'm going to enjoy it, and you know, being in the quarterfinals here, of course, I didn't expect it. You know, I knew I could, but I didn't expect it. It's been a while, so it's a great feeling. Darren's strengths is pretty much everything on the table, no matter what. He cues the ball really well. He makes long shots. You know, his choice of shots is very good. So could be the best player in the world at the moment, you know. But you know, it's still just because you're the best player in the world, that don't make that one ball go in without you shooting it. So you still have to do it.
Darren Appleton won the lag and immediately signalled his intent with a clinical break and run out. Here's the second.
This man right here, Darren Appleton, after a successful career in English 8-ball, made the switch to American pool in 2006 and went on to win the World 10-ball Championship.
Rack 2, Darren Appleton to break, leading 1-0.
In 2008, and since 2006, he has become, in 9 short years, a legend in this sport. But right there, he comes up empty on the break.
And that's the inconsistency on the break we're seeing, not just from round to round or from match to match, but from rack to rack. Sorted it out in the first rack beautifully. In the second rack, dry.
Johnny Archer, for all his massive success in over 2 decades in the game, has never captured the World Pool Masters title. Nice shot on the 1 there.
Extension cold.
Now look what he's left with. Johnny picks the ball out of the pocket. Got to be careful there. He rolled it down the side rail. Long shot on the 4. Oh, well done. Right after that great opening rack from Darren Appleton, this is an excellent response from Johnny Archer.
With his wealth of experience and skill level, here's a man who is capable of beating anyone, anywhere, anytime. Just by a couple of weeks, the oldest player in the tournament, edging out Ralph Souquet by a matter of days.
Well, you can see how focused Johnny is. This is a pretty elementary layout, but he takes his time. He's going to use the clock. Make sure he's got all the angles right. Focus all the way down to that 9 ball. How many times have we seen here in the Whirlpool Masters where players tend to lose focus when they have easy runouts? Sometimes it happens and they miss easy shots, but not here. Johnny Archer ties it up. Some good potting skills on display from the American. He's tied Darren Appleton 1 apiece in this quarterfinal.
It was a perfect break in the first rack for Appleton, a dry break in the second, and Archer took advantage. A couple of positional misjudgments, but he potted his way out of trouble.
Darren Appleton is the favorite in this match. He's been more active on the professional scene worldwide than Johnny Archer has over the last 6-7 years. Johnny still plays in tournaments, but he's also attending to his business. He owns a pool room in Georgia.
Rack 3, Johnny Archer to break, 1-1.
One ball down. The 4 ball down, but the cue ball is down.
Start the clock.
The break really is a puzzle wrapped in a conundrum.
And you know what? That was his own fault. The cue ball did not get touched. He put too much juice on that, cut it back towards the rail, and it just went all the way up table into that corner pocket. Now Darren has ball in hand. He can place the ball anywhere on the table. And we all know what this means in 9 ball. When you can have, there's already 2 balls down. You got the 8 ball over the pocket and ball in hand. And a man of Appleton's talent, that generally means 99% of the time a run out. And one thing we don't see that often, if you see the cue ball goes down, yeah, it's ball in hand. If they happen to make a golden break but scratch, if you're wondering what might happen, they're going to put the 9 on the spot. And then it'll be ball in hand.
So I suppose the terminology for that would be a fool's golden break.
You know, Phil, you just invented a new phrase in 9, but we rarely see that shot happen. But if it does, that's now going to be adopted. as the official phrase of a cue ball, scratch, and a 9-ball made on the break. As predicted, Darren Appleton picking off the colors, and he will soon be up 2-1. This is quite a long 9-ball. Oh, right. That's it. He's still got the 8. Sorry. It's been hiding in the corner there. That's better.
Unruffled, no fuss. Archer went in off the break, and Darren Appleton's father delighted that his son has taken a 2-1 lead.
There you see that scratch on the break, and that was totally the fault of Johnny Archer. And from here, it was methodical but elementary for Appleton.
Rack 4, Darren Appleton to break, leading 2 racks to 1.
Darren tears into that rack. He's got a ball down. Will he have a shot on the 1? Well, he'll be taking this on. 1-3 combination.
Yes, 2 aspects to this shot. One is sorting out the potting angle, obviously, to knock in the 3, but also, in so doing, Appleton has to leave the 1 in a position where it's on for him afterwards.
Well, that was nicely done. He can definitely get in there to see the 1 ball behind the 6. Now he's got to get positioned. The 2 ball out in the middle of the table near the 9.
Extension called.
His facial expressions are so intense. You can almost see the calculations written on his forehead.
He'd given up there on precise precision on the 2 ball, just wanted to get some kind of pot. And these are the glue that bind great performances together. These go in, you're looking good. Never in doubt.
My goodness. Dead center of the pocket from full table. That is, and off the rail, Phil. I think we can say that Darren is continuing his fine form that he showed in a very tough match against a tough opponent in Matus Shnegotsky in round 1.
There's a reason in all sports that we have multiple repeat champions. They have the X factor. Appleton's got it. Desire, determination, dedication, and nerve.
Yeah, that's a good point, especially that last point, the nerve. This is a man that thrives in pressure situations.
What a good rack that was. Appleton's pot on the 2-ball, the obvious highlight. And with that, he takes a very pleasing 3-1 lead.
Welcome back to a cracking quarter-final between England's Darren Appleton and the American Johnny Archer. Appleton took 3 of the opening 4 racks, but in the 5th, his break came up dry. Not to worry though, this by Archer saw the Englishman regain the advantage and run out the rack eventually. This is now the 6th on tap.
Darren Appleton to break, leading 4 racks to 1.
Again, the vagaries of the break.
Nothing down. Well, the 1 very nearly went down. It hit the point, bounced out. But Archer, even though he's at the table, more frustration. No shot on the 1.
Push out called.
Calls a push out.
It's not the first time in the match that Appleton has broken dry and left nothing.
Well, certainly Darren's going to take this on. I think Johnny can see part of that 1 ball. Yes, he can.
Extension called.
Well, he got 13 seconds left there of his allowed 30 seconds, but he knew that this was a complex shot and needed more thinking time.
Wow, what a beautiful shot. Pot's the 1. I still got something difficult on that 2.
You know what though, Ted, he's got this nervous habit, hasn't he, of getting balls out of pockets and throwing them down the rails and stuff. One day maybe those shiny balls are going to come out of his hand and cause a foul shot.
Well, yeah. Oh, that was nicely done. But now, see, he's looking at that pink 4, got tied up with the 6. So when he gets to that ball, he may have to play combination.
I don't think it's an exaggeration to say this is a rack he desperately needs.
He does, and he's got a lot of work left here. Players hate these shots. They try to avoid these at all costs. Down the rail, past the middle pocket. That's why they hate it.
You hear the Yorkshire accents at this Lancashire venue. Come on, Daz, they say. This is the right kind of support. in the first round. Carl Boys received a lot of vocal support, but sometimes I thought it was counterproductive. This is the real encouraging support that Boys players on.
Nicely done. With confidence. No, that's not going to work. And he throws the chalk up in the air and kicks it. That is massive frustration for Appleton. I mean, he had the whole table to work with and just snookered himself. Now he's taking out the jump cue. He didn't want to. I don't think in his wildest imagination he thought he would have to jump a ball here in this rack. Oh, that's. He was out of an extension, and he just had to get down and shoot it, and he jumped the cue ball off the table. Foul.
Sitting there feeling a mixture of being aggrieved with what was a bad run, but also he shouldn't have been in that position anyway. He knows that was his own fault. It was a wide margin of error and a mistake you just don't expect from him.
Well, the other mistake he made was throwing the chalk up and getting all disgusted because it took away about 8 to 10 seconds by the time he got it all together, and he had no chance to study that shot and to think about it, and that's what led to this foul. So a bit of a mental error from Darren Appleton right when he was about to go ahead 5-1, and he gifts the rack to Johnny Archer. So the score now, Appleton 4, Johnny Archer 2.
Archer retrieves a rack, but in the 7th, the break presented no opportunities. The safety duel that followed demanded creativity on the 2-ball. Archer displayed it. The rack opened up, and the American narrowed Appleton's lead to just 1.
Rack 8, and the Archer to break, trailing 3 racks to 4.
He's got the 1 ball down, he's got the 6 down, and he's going to have a shot on the 2. So finally,
And the configuration of the balls here must lead to Archer being optimistic about drawing level.
and for Darren Appleton to sit there and think about what happened in rack number 6. He was looking like he was going to just streak. Oh, no, no.
No excuse.
No excuse.
Not just a wave of momentum, a sea of momentum there. And yet Archer wastes it.
You're right, Phil. He had it in the palm of his hands, the momentum, and he just handed it right back.
Ooh. Horrible cueing now over the orange 5 ball for this red 3 ball to the middle pocket. This is not easy in the slightest. Just have to trust the aim point, trust the cueing. And if Appleton felt bad about things a minute or so ago, he feels even worse now.
Yeah, Darren's out of sorts for sure. He's disgusted with himself. He's in the middle of one of those rough patches that always seems to come into every match. Phil, Johnny has to feel pretty good about his prospects right now. Was not playing well early on, and Darren was playing great. And now he has been handed one gift after the next, and combine that with some good shooting overall, hey, he's about to tie this match.
And the irony of it is, had he won this rack with a break and run out, it would have been less beneficial to him than winning in these circumstances, because Appleton missing the 3, that's darkened his mood considerably.
And he's about to have a few more minutes at least of sitting in that chair, Darren Appleton, to become even moodier. Johnny Archer fights back from 4-1 down to tie up the match. After 8 frames, we are all even at 4 apiece in this quarterfinal. Things can change so quickly in pool, especially if you don't have your head about you. Gotta keep your emotions in check.
In rack 9, Johnny Archer to break, 4-4.
It was one thing that Darren got himself into a pickle back there in rack number 6. It was how he reacted. You know, I mean, it was still early in the match, and he got so frustrated. He threw his chalk up in the air, and you know, you can read the emotions, the body language, and you just knew that things weren't going to go well for him over the next few minutes, and they haven't. He squandered a 4-1 lead. Johnny Archer now with 2 balls down on the break and a shot on the 2. A difficult shot, but he's got an open ball.
Yes, the little collision there between the pink 4 ball and the cue ball, I think, helped Archer to a degree.
Great pop, but he's got to get position. You heard him say wrong side.
Extension call.
That's a big shot for Johnny. That's why he uses his 30-second extension. You get 1 per rack. Oh, that's an amazing shot. But now he's cueing off the rail, so more hard work.
He's been a little snatchy with the cue on a couple of pots in this rack. Can he keep his head down here, deliver it smoothly?
And how does he get position on the 5 ball? Yeah, see, that ball was going to move forward, and he wasn't just potting the ball, it was getting the position.
When you're nervous, and there's no doubt Archer is, cueing off the cushion like that on pressure balls, that's the real examination. What a critically important visit this is. Member of the audience, knowledgeable member of the audience, said great shot. It looked relatively routine, but the way he's feeling, it was very good indeed. That's one of the key assets of a champion, not to dwell on previous mistakes and previous disappointments.
Well, I guess you can dwell for a moment. That's natural, but you have to have the ability to get it out of your mind. Well, that clear there will go a long way to brightening his mood. Darren Appleton now leads Johnny Archer 5-4 in this quarterfinal.
In the 10th rack, Appleton broke, but failed to get the opening he desired. Safety play followed, before an attempted gem shot by Archer ended with the American scratching. Appleton came back to the table, he cleared, and restored his advantage to 2. This is now the 11th.
Rack 11, Darren Appleton to break, leading 6 racks to 4.
Is 6-4 going to become 7-4?
One ball goes, but so does the cue ball. And in that case, it was kicked in.
Stop the clock.
Kicked by the 3.
When you're a pool player, Ted, scratching on the break is an occupational hazard. But I think it's happened in this tournament far more often than normal. Just cropping up all of the time, isn't it?
We see it a lot, you're right. And we've yet to see anybody master the break shot. So Johnny, absolutely imperative that he converts here. At this point in the match, Archer cannot afford any more mistakes.
I think the progression of this contest is pretty similar to the Shane Van Boening-Walid Majid match in many respects. Van Boening, the better player of the two, and yet finding it difficult to shake off a stubborn opponent.
Extension call.
There's that little habit again of putting the balls in the other pocket.
Why?
Well, he missed 2 9 balls in the first round, even though he got through comfortably. There's no mistake there. Darren Appleton's lead is cut again to just a single rack. Darren Appleton 6, Johnny Archer 5.
Rack 12, Johnny Archer to break, trailing 5 racks to 6.
Welcome back to an entertaining quarter-final tussle between Appleton and Archer. Appleton, 2 racks away from victory.
And there again, more frustration on the break. Phil, I don't think I've seen a tournament with this many dry breaks before.
And also here, I think Archer might have been kicked in the teeth even more, because maybe there's a gap between 2 and 8 to pot the 1. Maybe. The 9 was in the general vicinity of a pocket, but no golden break. Well, the gap is there.
Very good expression there, Phil. Kicked in the teeth. Yep. Imagine that. Of all the places that cue ball could land, it's in a minute gap between 2 balls, allowing Appleton to pot the 1.
One of the things you admire about Darren Appleton, and there are many, in these kind of pressure situations when the pressure levels can be excruciating, he's so dependable, isn't he? You fancy him to knock in pots that others might miss.
Well, this is a man who eats pressure for every meal of the day. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
In snooker, I held Stephen Hendry when he was playing in the highest esteem, because he was the ultimate pressure player as well. I think it's because I was so bad under pressure myself when I was playing. I really respect people who can hold themselves intact when the chips are down.
Well, some players fear being in pressure situations when all the chips are down late in the match and your opponent's applying all the heat. But Darren loves that situation.
And he'll love being 2 up with a possible 3 racks to play and breaking off in the 13th.
Darren Appleton with this 9-ball back in total control. 1 more rack to a spot in the semifinals. He leads Johnny Archer in this quarterfinal 7-5.
Again, it was all about the break. Archer despondent. He'd broken dry, even more so when he realised the gap was there for Appleton to squeeze through, pot the 1 ball. And that was the start of a run out.
Well, now, this break.
Okay, rack 13, Darren Appleton to break, leading 7 racks to 5.
His last break of this match. Can he bring it home? This is incredible. Another dry break.
Yes, and another chance for Archer. Someone cheered on for him there, a lone voice in the audience, and he turned around and said, "Thanks, man." The crowd on Appleton's side, but they know full well that this task is not complete. Now, Archer can't pot the 1 directly, but of course he can make the the 1-2 combination, and the table is there for him. The key to this shot, not making the combination, but leaving the 1 on.
Well, that's about as bad a result as you could even imagine.
Well, I'm surprised there, are you? Really surprised. Okay, it looked relatively complex, but at this level, that's a meat and drink shot. And now is Appleton in for the kill.
You would certainly think so. All the balls spread out, nothing tied up. When it comes to Darren Appleton, this is the kind of situation where he slams the door shut time and time again.
Well, he doesn't shy away from pressure. He thrives in it, embraces it. And that's why he's an amazing champion.
Well, with one rack to go and you give him that kind of opportunity, he's a heavy odds-on favorite to clear this rack and win the match right here.
I've referenced this a couple of times in the tournament already, Ted, but I think it's pertinent here. In January, when he won the Chinese 8-ball Masters over in the People's Republic, he beat Mark Selby in the final 21-19 after an epic encounter. First prize there at $100,000 US, a king's ransom for him, for anyone. And the way he cleared up to win the clinching rack was fantastic.
Extension call.
Still has the extension in the locker, so why not employ it?
Just getting all the positions down in his mind where he wants to leave the ball. He's got the whole roadmap in his head. 3 more to go for a spot in the semifinals of the Whirlpool Masters. There it is.
Archer off target with the 1-2 combination, and he knows the goose is pretty much cooked. A deserved winner for me. Darren Appleton survived a mid-match wobble, and he defeats Johnny Archer by 8 racks to 5 to book his place in the semi-finals of the Party Poker World Pool Masters. Up next for him, either Ralph Souquet or Mark Gray.
Yeah, I felt great, to be honest. 10 times better than yesterday. Felt just perfect going into the match. Set off on fire, was up 4-1. Played perfect, really. It was hitting the ball beautiful. And then got really unlucky at 4-1 to go 5-1 up. And then I played a bad safety, and then he break and run, and so then it's 4-4. So then I'm back under pressure then for no reason. But obviously he's a great player, so the game can change very quickly. Even though I had a big lead, he come back and I managed to hold myself together and come with a couple of really nice finishes when I needed to.
Appleton's reward, a semi-final appearance. So just one more issue to be sorted out in this, the quarter-final stage. And that's the match between Mark Gray and Ralph Souquet. The winner there will face Appleton in the semi-finals of the Party Poker Whirlpool Masters of 2015.